This is a video I didn't really want to make, and no doubt myself and Owen will be talking about it more on the Raw review coming up on this channel. Probably later today because of when this will go up, because Owen's at HHN and he didn't even know this news. Jim Ross reported a few hours back, or I guess Sunday afternoon, that Bobby the Brain Heenan passed away at the age of 72. And one of the channels where I watch my wrestling content, because, you know, I'll be honest with you, I don't have Sky, which means I have to find it online. They're currently doing a marathon of like great Bobby Heenan stuff from his commentary days with Gorilla Monsoon, you know, with his stuff in the 80s into the 90s, even some of his WCW stuff. But then, you know, going back to his AWA stuff with Nick Bockwinkel, and then even before that, when he started off in the World Wrestling Association back in the early 60s, I saw some black and white grainy footage of him there, which was like, you know, it was amazing to sort of see. Yeah, it's, you know, there'll be more thoughts of me, or more thoughts of, I guess, myself and Owen, and like some of the best moments and whatever. But yeah, he's just, you know, the fact that, I mean, he did wrestle here and there, certainly in his later years, and he did a bit early, sort of in the start. But you know, when I think back, the most of the stuff that I do think of is, you know, primetime wrestling, his stuff with Gorilla, which was awesome. You know, certainly the clips that I've seen of him and Nick Bockwinkel, it's just the same as him with sort of everybody that he had in the WWE, be it being Big John Studd, or you know, Ken Patera, or Paul Orndorff, or Andre the Giant, or Rick Rude, or Harley Race, or Mr. Perfect. You know, loads of things. You know, being part of the $15,000 body slam match at the first WrestleMania and everything. You know, being a key person, certainly in the Andre the Giant situation in 87 into 88 and everything. Then Rick Rude going into the 90s and all that. Then you know, his work on the Bobby Heenan show, not just the actual primetime wrestling stuff, loads of stuff. And, you know, the infamous, of course, you know, It's Not Fair to Flair stuff, when Ric Flair came in and he managed him. And on top of that, of course, as I say, the commentary stuff that he did. You know, he was one of the original voices of Monday Night Raw. But then left to go to WCW to replace Jesse the Body Ventura, who was obviously going to run to be governor and everything. And yeah, he's okay. There was the incident when he swore at, you know, Heenan and whatever, which, you know, and then also something which apparently really stuck stuck sort of a wedge in the relationship of him and Tony Schiavone, was the fact that he wanted to mention the passing of Gorilla Monsoon, despite the fact he never worked for WCW. And the fact is, they did, and obviously Bobby was very emotional about it. And, you know, apparently, you know, their relationship was strained ever since then, which is seemingly bizarre. But you know, and then of course battling with the bloody battling the cancer, you know, the throat cancer, and then obviously the having to have the reconstructive surgery on his jaw and everything. You know, a lot of stuff, but man, you know, you look at the list, you know, Ray Crippler Stevens, Nick Bockwinkel, Big John Studd, Ken Patera, Kikon Bundy, Andre the Giant, Rick Rude, Orndorff, Race, Hercules, the Barbarian, the Red Rooster, the Brooklyn Brawler, Ric Flair, Lex Luger, the Missing Link. Wow, he managed him. Playboy Buddy Rose, Butch Reed, Colt Cabana, even Jimmy Jacobs and Nigel McGuinness and CM Punk in various bits on the indie scene. Well, I guess also because of his stints in TNA and stuff and everything, he would have been there. Baron von Raschke, Ernie Ladd, Nikolai Volkov, the Masked Superstar. All those sort of guys, you know. And then in terms of tag teams, you know, aside from the guys that are made up from like Andre the Giant and Haku and all that, you have the Islanders themselves, the Valiant Brothers, the Brain Busters, the Blackjacks, you know, a whole load of people. You know, and thank God he went in the Hall of Fame. You know, a guy like that being, I mean, you can't really say company guy because he obviously went to WCW, but it's good to know that there's a heck of a lot of stuff that you can check out on the WWE Network. In fact, I would not be surprised if they actually have changed up the schedule to tomorrow after Raw. Let me have a quick look. Tomorrow after Raw is currently scheduled to be WWE Storytime, but I'm sort of wondering if they're going to put something together regarding Bobby and like greatest moments and whatever, because to be honest, I think it's only fair because, you know, an iconic manager like that, you know, certainly I've seen Corey Graves saying if it wasn't for the Bobby Heenan, there wouldn't be a him in terms of his commentary persona, in terms of the way he works on the mic as a manager. You know, you've got to do a tip of the hat to Paul Heyman and everything in the current, you know, regime and all that. So, yeah. Rest in peace, Bobby. We will not forget you for a very, very long time.